And nobody knows better about the situation than Don McLaughlin. He was the former mayor of Uvaldi. He just recently ran in District 80 for state representative, and he won that primary. I have to correct myself. He did win that primary. He's also a small business owner. He's taken his town through some of the most difficult times, including the pandemic, including immigration surges, including the deadly winter storms, and, of course, including that horrible shooting at Robb Elementary that occurred in 2022. But, Don, he may not wear on his shirt like I am tonight, duty, honor, country from my alma mater. But I'll tell you what, Don McLaughlin embodies duty, honor, country. And so I'm just thrilled to check back in with him and find out what's going on in Texas. Don, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. So you won the election in your primary, and then you still have a general. Do you have a Democrat opponent, or they just give up on your race?
No, they're in a runoff right now. It's they'll be between Rosie Cuellar, who is Henry Cuellar's sister, who's a U.S. congressman down there, and a lady by the name of Cecilia Castellano.
Okay. So you guys do elections a little bit different than we do here. So you have a three-way runoff. Is that because nobody got 50%, or how does that work?
Well, I mean, we got 58%, but
in
the Democratic primary, they only got each one of them only gained about 27%.
Okay, so all three of you run together in a general election in November?
No, they'll have a runoff between those two.
Okay,
and I'll face the winner.
Okay, got it. Okay, wow. That is a lot different than how we do things in Illinois. Isn't it interesting, people? Elections are held differently down there. And I know that your Attorney General, he's been really on the forefront of mandating voter ID. Obviously, you have a more significant problem than the rest of the country when it comes to illegals that are part of your census. And do you see it as a problem? Do you see them voting? Or do you think that that's an issue down in Texas?
I don't think it's an issue yet, but I think it's one that we're going to be facing very soon if we don't stay on top of it.
Okay, can you just give us an update? I mean, has it been quieter at the Texas border? Are the illegals now migrating to Arizona, or are they using that fancy CBP One app? Are they using that to just, order up a chartered flight from their home country?
Well, they're getting from what we understand, they're still flying them from their home country to different parts of the United States. They're not bringing them to Texas, thank God. But with what the governor's done, it's pushed a lot of the migration to New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Although we did start to see a little surge again last week in the foot traffic and the pursuits with the cars that picked up in the last 10 days.
And what do you attribute that to, that uptick?
I think they're trying to get as many as they can in here right now. The cartel knows that their days are numbered on what they're going to be able to bring across that border and push across that border because, as Texans, we're going to, one way or the other, we're going to shut this border down if that's what it takes to stop this because, there's no matter of when, if it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time when you've had 333 known people on the terrorist watch list crossed that we caught. What did we not catch? It's just a matter of when we're going to have a significant problem.
Okay, I'm glad that it's that it has recessed, but it's not good news that it's gone to New Mexico and Arizona because actually I think I trust the Texans more to handle the situation and shut the border down than I do. For example, New Mexico, which I still think it has a Democrat governor. Well, and Arizona does too, for that matter. So that's not good. Okay, so when you get to the State House, what are some of the initiatives you want to take up?
Well, first and foremost, it's got to be our border security. We have got to address that issue head on. First and foremost, that's going to be number one. I think on anybody that wins this time and goes to Austin, we have got to give the governor the support that he needs and the tools that he needs to continue this fight. Shouldn't be our fight because the federal government should be doing it, but they're not. They're not doing their job, so we have to.
Okay, and I know that school choice is a touchy area in a lot of rural Texas, But it does appear to me, I mean, when you ran, it says that all the Texas leaders stood behind you. Cruz, Lieutenant Governor Patrick, Attorney General Ken Paxton, they all stood behind you. Even Donald Trump and Greg Abbott. So you got everybody's support.
I did, and school choice is a big thing, and it needs to come. It's been a long time coming here in Texas. I mean, parents need to have the say in their child's education. They need to know what their children are learning. And when we pass this school choice, we'll eliminate the STAR testing. That's what our teachers are spending all their time teaching to a test, and our kids are failing. We're failing our kids, and so I'm excited for that to come forward, the school choice. I believe it will pass with flying colors in this next legislation.
And have you felt any pushback? Because you're pretty much in touch with a lot of your community, especially as the former mayor of Uvaldi. And obviously you're in touch with the schools because of what happened at Robb Elementary. Plus, it's a small town mayor. You know everybody. And everything that's going on. I think what's the population of Uvalde, about 17,000. So what's the teachers' reaction, the public school teachers' reactions to school choice in Texas? Are they open to it or not?
Most of them, I believe, are open to it. They see that their hands will be untied. They'll be able to do their job. They won't be teaching to a test, or we won't be teaching bringing some woke curriculum activity or curriculum to their classes and so forth. It'll give them the ability to go back to the basics: reading, writing, arithmetic, history, science. I mean, we've gotten away from that now, and so it'll give them that ability. And I think we'll also give teachers the ability to teach again.
Okay, well, I mean, that's great, because I know that most teachers, my mom included, they get involved in teaching for the love of teaching. And when that creativity gets stifled by the bureaucrats, and then you're forced to teach things that maybe you don't personally believe in, like the LGBTQ and sex ed, and starting in elementary school. I mean, I think that you get, and then you have discipline problems on top of that. I think you get a little bit, disconnected from why you got in teaching in the first place. And so, I mean, that's why I had you on, Don, because up here in Illinois, we need to hear a different state's perspective on everything from the border to school choice. And so, I mean, it's always just a pleasure to, catch up with you and speak with you. And so I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. And I'm going to help you and support you in your election to state rep. You're going to be fantastic in that role.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate you taking the time to let me be on your show. Like I said, it's time that we wake up and see what's being done across the country. Too long we've been the silent majority, and it's time we start voicing our beliefs and opinions.
All right, very good. Don McLaughlin, former mayor of Uvalde, running for state representative down in Texas.
Now, more of The Real Story with your host, Jeanne Ives.